Hey, it's Jeremy here from Lat SEO. In this video, I'm walking through a case study and some results of this project I worked on, it's a B2B project, helping this brand get significant growth in terms of SEO and AI impressions and clicks, and helping them drive significant value to their website from their SEO. And what I want to do is walk through a little bit about what went into this project, the steps I took, and give an example of what this would look like if I were to work on a project in the metal fabrication industry as well. So first thing to look at here quickly would be these results. This is Google Search Console, and you can see the click difference here from about 1,860 clicks to 5,600 clicks in a 6-month period, and impressions from 238,000 to 1.37 million. Now, the interesting part here is each one of the deals for this client in this industry could be upwards of 7 figures. So this is significant value traffic for them. Now, the steps that went into this are as follows. Keyword research was first, and that part of the process is generally going to be one of the first things to look at always, to work to find high value industry specific keywords that match buyer intent. And like I said, after I explain this, I'll go through an example of what this would look like if I were to handle this for a metal fabrication project as well, just to give you an idea as to what these steps actually look like in action, and see how this would work for any industry basically. Now, next thing then is focusing on long tail and mid tail opportunities for faster traction. And the reason for this is we want to rank as quickly as possible. And this is one of the main reasons why I often look at keywords and phrases in Ahrefs that have commercial or transactional intent, because we want fast traction and we want ROI fast from SEO. Even though it takes time to get results, we want to get rankings and start driving value as quickly as possible. Content mapping then, organizing any of the keywords into pillars or clusters, or whatever you want to call them, groups, and building a roadmap to connect all of this stuff together. And then planning the URL structure and internal linking to make sure that we're working to boost topical authority. Topical authority is essentially showing to search engines that we being any website, is an authority on the topic. And the way to do this is by having additional topics or additional content on those topics or about those topics on your website to prove that you know what you're talking about. As an example, we'll take metal fabrication. If you're a metal fabrication company and you have one piece of content about the process of metal fabrication for marine example, then a search engine might think that you have some expertise there. But if you have every piece of content available as possible, whether it be questions or information about the topic in terms of types of metal to use that are water resistant or rust resistant, or how you would potentially build different structures. I don't know this industry very well. How you'd build certain things or fabricate for marine and handle all of the different saltwater versus freshwater, whatever. Making sure you have as much content as possible about the topic and basically proves to a search engine that you are an authority on a topic, and it makes it easier for you to rank for those main keywords, and then obviously any of the more specific keywords too. The second benefit here is as you have more information about a topic, your potential customers also trust that you know what you're talking about and you're an authority on that topic as well. If no other websites have information about your specific saltwater applications, then it's going to be a very easy or a much easier choice for a prospect to look at your content and your brand as an authority on that topic as well. And then content creation. So producing optimized content, targeting the mapped keywords, of course, balancing technical depth with readability, and then maintaining consistent publishing cadence. And this depends on the site type and the site size. Currently, I usually don't recommend to blast 1,000 pieces of content immediately. And then maintaining consistent publishing cadence. The purpose here is to make it so that if your site is new, I wouldn't recommend blasting dozens or hundreds of pieces of content per week or per month. In general, if you're publishing quality content, it's very difficult to run into issues if you're doing it without complete mass publishing. Link building. This is huge. Also, though, it always depends on the sites that are ranking that you're trying to compete against. So this in and of itself is something that generally will produce great results. when it's done correctly and when all of these different factors are managed correctly as well. So making sure that you're getting relevant links, anchor text is correct, and mixing different types of links as well. And then, as I showed you before, the impressions 6x and clicks 3x in that same time frame. And again, extremely valuable for this brand. Here's another screenshot of this showing some of the, remove my image or my video here. So you can see AI overviews as well, domain rating increased, and referring domains and backlinks increased from the link building process. And I'm going to scoot this over. You can see organic keywords they're ranking for went up significantly, organic traffic up significantly as well. And this is a 6-month data set here. And then you can see also traffic by location. They're US based and primarily target US. And then at the way bottom here, you can see branded versus non-branded. So we did get some additional growth from branded terms, but the non-branded growth is where when you're doing a project like this, the value is really in the non-branded key phrases, because you want to obviously capture and rank for as many searches as you can related to your brand name, but you also want to and will get more benefit by ranking for keywords and phrases where people are searching for your product or service where they don't already know you exist, but they're looking for the solution you can provide them, whether that be product, service, whatever. So that is why the significant benefit of this non-branded growth here. And one of the reasons why we're ranking for so many different keywords, because we're targeting keywords that are not specifically related to the brand, but they're related to the solution they provide. So those are some results there from this project here. Now, a couple things I wanted to show you would be, how could we walk through the same process for a metal fabrication brand? So to do this I want to be as brief as possible here. What I'll do is I'll put in some of these prompts into ChatGPT to get us an idea as to what this could look like. And obviously I would spend more time on this on an actual project and have specific brand keywords and topics and things that we're looking at. But for this example here, I'm just going to be relatively broad. So what I want to do is we'll go to GPT and let's just pretend I'm looking to build this for a metal fabrication brand. Brand does not exist yet. And it would actually, but I'm just doing this for purposes of this exercise. So pretend we have no content initially. I need a follower. So then this will give us an initial list. But again, if I were doing this for an actual project, then we would have some starting points to look at here. But then we have, let's see, industry served. So these generally are going to be great opportunities to start building content. Industries, applications, things like that, because in almost every case, a B2B style website offers and knows the types of customers they work well with already. And having content about those industries and about those applications can make it very easy for you to start ranking for some of those things. And like I said before, it makes it so you have a better chance at conversion as well, because your prospects trust that you know what you're talking about and you're an expert for them related to aerospace or defense contracting or construction or oil and gas or whatever. So these are all generally going to be great opportunities, especially if you serve them. If you don't, then I generally don't recommend having that content on the site. So let's just pretend that we want this as an initial keyword set. So we'll just put this in here and let's clean this up a little bit. And let's make these bullets as well. All right, and then we will do that. Okay, so here's the initial list that we'll pretend we're going to work on. Content mapping, organize keywords into pillars and clusters. So this kind of does this for us here. If you look here, we have capabilities and services. So this would be a cluster or a pillar. And then we have industries served. So industries would be a different pillar of content, applications, and then buyer intent transactional. These would be more individual. And then go back here. So content mapping, build a roadmap connecting capabilities, industries, and applications, like it says. Planned URL structure and internal linking. So this internal linking is one of the most underutilized SEO strategies that is missed. And the reason why internal linking is so valuable for SEO is because what this does is allows a search engine or AI to better associate and build links between pieces of content on your site, which helps you rank better for that content and for those keywords. And one of the best ways to look at this is if it would make sense for you to explain that resource to somebody else, then it would make sense to have a link to that other page on your site from that content as well. And like I said, internal linking is a massive opportunity that is often missed. And the interesting thing too is internal linking can provide basically immediate SEO boost when this is done correctly as well. Now, a couple things to keep in mind with internal linking is making sure that you're managing anchor text here as well, because search engines look at the text that is used to link between content and link between pages. So internal linking, you can actually over optimize yourself with internal links as well. So you want to be careful there. But as long as it makes sense and is something that is useful to have a reader visit that content or that page as well, then it often makes sense to have an internal link there. And then content creation. So creating the content, I've gone through multiple videos on this. I could do a video specifically about creating content and the strategy there, but I would look at a tool, like I said, like Neuron Writer. And again, the value of a tool like this is what you do, and what this tool does is looks at the keyword or phrase that you are planning to write content about, and it looks at the top ranking websites for that keyword. Then it reverse engineers content length, H1, H2, H3s, other keywords, phrases to use, and gives you an idea of what should be done with all of these factors for optimization so that you can have a piece of content that's in the expected range of the top ranking sites. You can use the correct H1s, H2s, H3s within your article, and then you have other keywords or phrases to use within that content as well. Then the key is getting this content written correctly and making sure that, again, you're including internal links within this content to your other content and publishing on the site with correct URL structure and things like that. So all of these things, these factors of this piece of content are basically automated. You don't even need to think about it. You put the keyword in and this tool provides all that information for you. Then you build the outline and the content. And the one key here is you can create this content with AI, but if you simply publish AI content, it is less likely to rank very well without human editing, from what I've seen. Now, there are cases where creating, there we go. Now, if you simply publish AI content, it's less likely to rank very well without human editing. Now, it can rank for certain keywords and phrases, and it can rank well. But if you're wanting to have a piece of content on your site about a high value service or product you have, then it will make a lot of sense for you to have some level of human editing. And potentially, there are a lot of brands that want to have completely human written content without using AI as well. If that's the case, then you can do a process like this: AI outline creation, and then human content creation. And this then would allow you to still make use of something like Neuron Writer to build and understand the correct length, H1s, H2s, and phrases and keywords you need to use, and then get you a specific outline of how that should be structured. And then you or somebody on the team can create that content for you with the correct headings that you already know, and then with any keywords and phrases that need to be included as well. So this process works extremely well also, especially when you know what should be done in terms of content length and things like that to rank your content. And then link building. This is a different process in and of itself, but there are a number of different ways to work to get backlinks. Some of them that are more common would be things like outreach to a relevant industry publication. And what I always recommend too, especially for B2B, is if you have partners, vendors, affiliates, distributors, any of these, if you have relationships with any of these types of people and they have websites, working to get a link from them to your site is almost always going to be beneficial for your site and for your SEO rankings. And in many cases, they would be happy to link to you because you guys have a mutually beneficial relationship. And this process by itself it seems relatively simple, and it actually is, but it needs to be done correctly. So you need to make sure that you're focusing on the right keywords, mapping and building content correctly, optimizing it correctly, and then link building, like I said, this is something that I would throw on top after the fact, especially if you're in a competitive industry. But a lot of times for a lot of keywords and phrases, just doing these first 3 steps, keyword research, content mapping, content creation, can start to get you some results and get you quick results with your SEO and start to drive targeted traffic that makes sense and produces value for you. Hopefully you got some value from that video. If you did, subscribe to my channel. I greatly appreciate it. And I plan to continue posting more videos like this, where I walk through case studies, results, strategies, and other information that can help you with a B2B website drive more traffic, rank better in SEO, rank better in AI, and generate more revenue from organic SEO and AI. And that's it. I'll see you on the next one.